Beautiful day for football. Good time to go down to the field to our Peter Schrager. Peter.
Hey, Sam, the injury bug has bitten the defensive backfield for the Redskins, but they'll also be out without their biggest playmaker, Deshaun Jackson. He's inactive today. He's got a bruised shin, contusions there. We'll not see Deshaun Jackson. Look for Andre Roberts to step up in his replacement.
Thanks, Peter. The Rams won the toss. They elected to defer, so the Redskins will receive the opening kickoff. There's Rams head coach Jeff Fisher in his third year. Very positive man who feels his team is heading in the right direction in the NFC West.
I think he just mentioned that this team is maturing, and it's a young football team. We've talked about it before, Sam, me and you, is that this is still one of the youngest teams in the NFL. So to see them kind of grow up as the season's going along, it's pretty exciting for that fan base.
Across the way, Jay Gruden. In his first year as the Redskins head coach, and it has been a year with a lot of turmoil and a lot of change, but he's holding himself together. He wants a strong finish from his team. Greg Zuerlein kicks it off. Andre Roberts for the Redskins. And it's up to the 22-yard line with Darren Bates making the tackle. And here comes Colt McCoy for his third start of the season, his first at home. And though the Redskins lost big to the Colts last week, he had a strong game.
Yeah, this is something that Colts, he kept telling us, look, I love football. This is what I'm here for. And he loves this opportunity to prove people wrong and say he can still be a primetime quarterback in the NFL.
Alfred Morris is the running back. The tight end, Jordan Reed, was split out. They go outside to Pierre Garçon, and he's ridden out of bounds across the 30. At the 33, good for a first down. Janoris Jenkins pushed him out, a gain of 10. Check out the Redskins on offense. That offensive line has been together. Trent Williams, he's the big man at left tackle.
You know, he missed a couple games ago. He missed a game, but now being back, that helps bolster that offensive line. Gives a lot of confidence to Colt McCoy to be able to stand back in that pocket.
See the backs and receivers. Alfred Morris closing in on another 1,000-yard rushing season. Morris on the carry. Strong run up to the 45-yard line. Robert Quinn with the tackle for the Rams. Morris has been running well the last few weeks.
Well, I can tell you this, being down on that field early on, the footing is not going to be comfortable for a lot of football players. When you look at Alfred Morris, he's probably got some different kind of cleats on because he's able to still have the same traction as far as getting up the field.
Redskins, two plays, 2 first downs. 2 tight ends in, Jordan Reed and Niles Paul. McCoy with time, going short for Alfred Morris, but he dropped it. We talked about the Rams defensively. This is quite a front that they've put together.
Definitely. Having Chris Long back has helped this defense out. Last week, his first game returning from the ankle surgery at the beginning of the season. And when they have like a captain back, you know, this is the confidence that they're playing with now. This is something I want to see today, how exciting they play.
Santana Moss in at wide receiver on 2nd and 10 for the Redskins. Moss had caught his first passes of the season last week. Here's Alfred Morris on the carry. No gain on the play. Well played, Eugene Sims, 5th-year defensive end, with a stop. It'll bring up what the Redskins fear the most, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it's a fear because you have Robert Quinn on one side, Chris Long on the other side. And I can tell you this, they've been talking about the stunts that they're going to play, meaning the blitz stunts, the regular stunts. They feel they have an advantage against this offensive line of the Redskins.
On his 26th birthday, Roy Halou Jr. is in the backfield with Colt McCoy. McCoy gets time, goes outside, and the catch made by Pierre Garçon for a first down. So the Redskins Redskins, who had had so much trouble picking up 3rd and 10s, pick one up here.
It's the chemistry that Colt McCoy has with his wide receivers. This is the reason why his players are backing Colt McCoy, because they understand he's going to put them in the perfect situation to make the play. That's a great ball by Colt McCoy to the outside. Only his receiver can make the play. Catch, get down, first down, keep the chains moving.
Ryan Grant, number 14, rookie out of Tulane, and a wide receiver for the Redskins. The toss to Alfred Morris. And the Rams do a good job of pulling him down. No gain on the play. William Hayes in on the stop. The rest of the Rams defense, James Laurinaitis and Alec Ogletree, are battling for the team lead in tackles. They've been tackling machines, and the secondary is now one of the strengths of this team.
Especially number 33, E.J. Gaines. A rookie starting out there, but he's been starting almost since week 1.
2nd and 10 for the Redskins on the Rams' 45-yard line. McCoy with time. Pierre Garçon, another good catch. Good run after the catch, and another Redskins first down at the Rams' 33. A pickup of 13 on the play.
With Deshaun Jackson out of the football game, the one guy who you knew was going to benefit from that was Pierre Garçon. Now, he's the guy that last year was Robert Griffin's #1 target. Now, this year with Deshaun Jackson coming in, he kind of became the #2 guy. Deshaun being out, the ball's going to go Pierre's way a lot.
McCoy 3 for 4 passing, all 3 completions to Pierre Garçon. 3 tight ends, 2 tight ends in. Alfred Morris stopped in the backfield for a loss. Good penetration by Chris Long on the play.
Chris Long right here, just coming down. And find a way, it's penetration with this Rams defense. You know, Aaron Donald, you have blockers. But the one thing they'll tell you, this defensive line, they like to be disruptors by getting off the football and getting up the field.
Roy Halou Jr. is back in the lineup and split out to the bottom of your screen as the Redskins go empty backfield on 2nd and 13. McCoy throws too far, and it's intercepted. Rodney McLeod, the safety on the return, picks up a couple of blocks and still going, and brought down at the Redskins' 34-yard line. Looked like McCoy overthrew his intended receiver. McLeod there for the interception, and the Rams defense comes up with the big play. They stop the march, and now the Rams in good position as they take over. Rodney McLeod with his 2nd interception of the season, the 11th for the Rams, but this play now being reviewed to see if he was down by contact before he had a 49-yard return.
Yeah, one thing you see, Ryan Grant, remember, he's in for Deshaun Jackson. As he gets by the reroute here of T.J. McDonald, turns the head around, but Rodney McLeod from his safety position, watching the eyes of Colt McCoy. But it looks right when he intercepts his football, looks like the right foot, the right toe of Ryan Grant just nips the shoulder pad of McLeod.
And we're going to bring in our supervisor of officials, Mike Pereira, back in our studio. Mike, what do you see as Brad Allen comes out from underneath the...
Interception is confirmed, and there was no down by contact. It will be 1st and 10.
All right. There's the decision by referee Brad Allen. Mike?
What they did was they missed this one. I mean, we got the replay to show them. I think that the right foot of the receiver, number 14, hits the back of the defender, McLeod, who intercepted the pass. And I think it's pretty clear that they should have put him down by contact because McLeod was still on the ground. But they decided that they didn't have enough evidence, but I think that shot showed that it did.
And now Brad Allen coming over to the sideline again. I don't know if he's going to take another look.
I think you have to take another look at that one.
Yeah.
Because to me, it looked clear that Ryan Grant's right toe, grazed almost the nameplate on the back of McLeod on that interception.
All right, we will step out for a moment as Brad Allen goes underneath the hood to take another look.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Brad Allen has had another look.
The interception will stand. However, the runner was touched down by contact at the 16.5-yard line. Will be singles and call first and 10 from the 16.5. Please put 10 minutes and 16 seconds on the game clock.
As you can hear, a lot of wind hitting the microphone of referee Brad Allen. But the ball back at the 16.5-yard line. It is an interception,
yes,
but there was contact, Kirk.
Yeah, usually you don't see that as much as a guy possibly touching down, or maybe the offensive player lands on a defensive player, but the actual toe of the wide receiver just grazing Rodney McLeod on that interception.
Here come the Rams on offense from the 16.5 with Sean Hill, the quarterback. Tavon Austin in motion and Trey Mason on the carry. He has been the leading runner the last 7 weeks for the Rams since taking over. The rookie out of Auburn had a huge game last week. No gain on this play. Combination of Will Compton and Philip Thomas for Washington. Compton, who is from the St. Louis area, starting in place of the injured Keenan Robinson, who is down today, and Philip Thomas starting in place of the injured Brandon Merriweather. The ball dropped loose, and looks like Sean Hill recovered. It'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Rams.
Just being down on that field before the game, it's a little slick out there, a little moist. Maybe the football gets a little wet as a snap comes up to Sean Hill. I'll tell you this, the footing is not what I thought it would be. You know, they had the tarp over all last night, but it's still some wet spots on that field.
Rams had the big game last week, beat Oakland 52-0, 3rd and 11. Benny Cunningham in the backfield at running back for the Rams. Everybody out. Hill fires and completes it to Jared Cook, the tight end. Good grab and a first down for the Rams. Cook, the leading receiver on the Rams.
Well, one thing, I talked with Jared Cook before the game, and he said he watched a lot of the film last week of the Redskins versus the Colts, and he saw the type of game that Kobe Fleener had, and he said, look, I can have that same type of game. I just got to make sure that I catch the football.
Corey Harkey is in and splits out. Now he motions. He sets up in the backfield. Off the play fake. Hill rolling and throwing short. Once again completing to the tight end. This is Lance Kendricks for the completion. We have an update. Let's go to the studio to Kurt Menefee.
Well, everybody's alive in the NFC South, as you know, and maybe the defending champ Carolina will take the crowd. Kelvin Benjamin with the first score of the game. They're now up 10-0 on the road at New Orleans. Always great to toss back to Sam Rosen.
Thanks, Kurt. Great to hear from you. And, I mean, that's a wide-open race in the NFC South. It's crazy. Everybody under 500.
Especially Saints playing at home already down. You know, this is a team that's supposed to be, you know, good every single year at home, but not this season.
First down, Rams from the 43. Quick outside to Tavon Austin. The man with great speed and quickness gets up close to the first down line. Philip Thomas with the tackle. Thomas making his first NFL start, number 41. Gain of 9 on the play and checking out the offensive line. Here's Trey Mason, the rookie out of Auburn, is taking over. Tavon Austin will be that last play. They want to get him the ball as much as possible.
Talking with Brian Schottenheimer, he wants to get Tavon Austin at least 3 to 4 touches per quarter. That's the kind of game breaker Tavon Austin can be for this offense.
There's 2nd and 1. Mason waiting for something to open up, but he ran right into Ryan Kerrigan. May have picked up enough for the first down. Redskins defense with a 3-4. Jim Haslett depending on that defensive line for pressure. Jason Hatcher has played well. They're looking for a little more pass rush from Trent Murphy.
Yeah, and I talked to Trent Murphy before the game, down on the field, and I asked him, you know, what's been the transition from college to the NFL? And for him is just reroutes on wide receivers, tight ends, something that he didn't do much of in college, but now he's understanding how to get it done at the NFL level. It's not sometimes being aggressive, but sometimes just his alignment, and he says something that he's been working on, he's going to get it fixed.
And tough for a rookie to take over from Brian Arakpo's position. Just short of the first down was Trey Mason. Bring up 3rd and inches for the Rams in Redskins territory. So each team has moved the ball pretty well. There's the defensive coordinator of the Washington Redskins, Jim Haslett, who was not only defensive coordinator, but an interim head coach in St. Louis.
Big game for him.
Zach Stacy, number 30, in at running back. Harkey lines up as a fullback. The play fake, Hill puts it up, and it's incomplete. And a flag on the play. Ryan Clark with the hit on Jared Cook, the intended receiver. And now from the sideline, several members of the Rams medical team, training team, and the head coach, Jeff Fisher, is out there.
You know, this is that formation they line up in a lot. This is where the Rams, they either use Jared Cook on that sail route.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness by hit on a defenseless player. Number 25. Defense. 15 yards to the spot. Automatic. First down.
Ryan Clark, the veteran safety, the man called on the penalty.
First you get the hit on the quarterback. Then you get the hit on Cook here. He's still defenseless, but you see the shoulder going toward the head. You know, this is one thing in the offseason, the NFL wanted to make sure they got across to players. Do not target the head area. They're going to make that call every single time, because once you get up in that head and neck area, that's where safety concerns happen. And that's why the NFL, this is a point of emphasis that you have to make that call there.
First down for the Rams. Lance Kendricks is in at tight end as Jared Cook has gone to the sideline. Rams a first down at the Redskins 32. Mason gets down to the 27-yard line. Trey Mason had a great game for the Rams last week.
I think, Sam, you know, one of the best things about this job is I get a chance to talk to these young guys, these young players before the game. And Trey Mason told me, he said, look, I'm trying to take this league over. You know, I want to be the best. And I got my opportunity, and I just want to shine. So today, this is one of those games where he wants to keep putting everybody, let everybody put him on notice that he's one of the better running backs in the NFL.
Quick out to Tavon Austin. And he's out of bounds inside the 25, getting back to Trey Mason. Mason, first half of the season, didn't play. He was inactive because the coach didn't trust him for quarterback protection.
And that's the big part about rookies in the NFL. It's not about can you run the football, but can you protect our quarterback, which is more important at this level. Because you see, if you get a quarterback injured, that your season may change. So now that Trey Mason's starting to be comfortable as far as his pass protection, he's gotten more carries at the running back position.
Good drive here by the Rams. Now a first down at the Washington 22. Hill gets time, goes short, completes it to Stedman Bailey. Stedman Bailey, who had 5 catches for 100 yards last week, all in the first quarter. There's a flag on the play.
Illegal use of the hands by hands to the face. Number 63, offense. 10-yard penalty.
That's on the center, Scott Wells, and wipes out the play.
Anytime you see a helmet come off, you always got to think hands to the face. Scott Wells gets back to the set, but once he gets that hand up in that head area, the helmet comes off, and that's right where the referee's looking.
Yeah.
So they're going to call that every single time.
Trying to block the nose tackle, Chris Baker. First and 20 back at the 32-yard line. Harkey lines up as a fullback. Now shifts. Sean Hill rolling and throwing, and completes it to Trey Mason. There's a flag downfield. Mason took a hard hit from Ryan Clark.
Probably an offensive pass interference, maybe blocking downfield before the ball was thrown.
Pass interference. Offense, number 46, blocking downfield. 10 yards from the previous spot.
That's Corey Harkey coming out of the backfield. Called for the offensive pass interference. So the Rams back-to-back penalties, setting them back 20 yards.
When you get those screen plays, it's all time. It has to be 1,000, 2,000 throw. And if it doesn't happen, like you get the penetration by the Redskin defense, all of a sudden you get guys down the field blocking before the ball is thrown. And that's a call that you don't want to have. But Corey Harkey put his hands up saying, hey, look, coach, hey, I thought the ball was thrown already.
1st and 30 for the Rams. Everybody out. Hill throws for Mason too high. The Rams looking for consistency. Sean Hill has been the man to settle down the quarterback situation. Of course, they're without the man they felt was their number one that would lead them for years to come. That was Sam Bradford, who had his ACL torn for the 2nd consecutive year.
I've been talking to people within that organization, the Rams. Beginning of the season was still a little Sam Bradford hangover. The guy who you thought was going to be your quarterback goes down. It was tough to overcome early in the season.
There's Mason on the carry. Good penetration. Slowed him down. And then the tackle by Perry Riley on the play. Trent Murphy with good penetration.
It's about setting edges. Trent Murphy, he sets an edge right here. He gets up the field, boom. Making the play that, hey, if the guy gets out, you've done your job because now you got the cavalry coming. You got Compton, you got Cofield, you got Riley. So sometimes you may not make the play in the backfield like Trent Murphy did, but if you slow the running back down, you got your guys coming to the football, making a big play in the backfield.
Here is 3rd and 32. Have to get to the 12-yard line for a 1st down. Hill goes short. And it's Benny Cunningham who is tripped up short of the 40-yard line. So the Rams, who are down with a 1st and 10 at the 22, 2 penalties back-to-back, took them out of scoring position. And now the highly paid punter, Johnny Hecker, comes on the field. He just got a 6-year, $18 million contract this week, $9 million guaranteed. Pretty good for the young man.
His new nickname on the Rams football team is Cha-Ching.
Oh.
He got paid.
That's pretty good. Andre Roberts goes over, watches the ball drop, went off one of the Rams. They try to keep it in the field of play, and it is ruled down at the 1-yard line.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
41-yard punt, and the Rams get down. Back at FedEx Field, the Redskins pinned deep in their own territory. The ball is spotted just across the 5-yard line, about the 5.5, or close to the 6 now, where the first touch was made by Maurice Alexander, who got down in a hurry. And turned out to be a 36-yard punt. Redskins' 2nd possession starts at the 6. Colt McCoy drops back, has time, and throwing to his tight end Niles Paul with a reaching grab.
First you get the initial touch by Alexander, but I like the way Darren Bates right here. See how he leaves his feet, gets off the ground, but the ball, as he touches it, does not go into the end zone. And that's a huge special teams play, because here it is. See that? He gets that hand right underneath. You get the fist pump by the kicker knowing he did his job.
Johnny Hecker doing the job. 2nd and 3 for the Redskins. Alfred Morris, the running back, and they stop the play. False start.
False start. Offense, number 84. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's Niles Paul, the tight end, as Jay Gruden looks on. Jay Gruden talked to us on Friday talking about wanting a strong finish at home and against division teams that they'll be playing.
Yeah, I mean, you want to make sure you win this game first against the Rams. But after that, you got the Giants, the Eagles, and you finish up at home versus the Cowboys. They know what's ahead of them, but it's about winning today. I think Colt McCoy gives them the best opportunity to do that.
2nd and 8. Andre Roberts motions. McCoy going short to Alfred Morris out of the backfield. Good run after the catch up to the 20-yard line. And a first down for the Redskins. T.J. McDonald, the safety, in on the stop with E.J. Gaines.
Well, you see Colt McCoy, hey, if you're going to give it to me, I'll take it. Throw the little dump off to Alfred Morris and let him do the work. Meaning that he's a guy that understands his role in the offense. You turn around, show off your hands a little bit. Now, this is scary for this Rams defense because they know not just as a runner what he can do, but what he does as a pass receiver, Alfred Morris.
McCoy 5 for 7 to start the game. Did throw the interception. Morris stopped in the backfield. Nice play by Mark Barron. Mark Barron picked up in the trade, and the Rams really excited by Barron, who really underachieved in Tampa.
This is what Mark Barron can do for you. He can come in here on the blitz, get down in there, and boom, make a play. You know, I talked with Les Snead before the game, and general manager of the Rams, and I said, the Mark Barron trade, he tells me one thing. He says, look, he's a good football player. We're going to find a way to put him on the field, and that's the reason why you go out and get Mark Barron plays like that.
First rounder,
yes, sir.
Former 7th pick overall. Andre Roberts motions for the Redskins on 2nd and 10. The throw outside, off the hands, incomplete. Time for an update. Back to L.A. to Joel Klatt this time. Joel.
Sam, let's go to Detroit. Matthew Stafford to Megatron. Corner of the end zone, gets both feet in. That's his 3rd touchdown in his last 2 games. Lions take the 1-score lead. It's 7-0 in Detroit. Sam, Kirk, and Peter.
Thanks, Joel. Throw the ball to Megatron. You got a good chance of making a good completion, and that time a touchdown. Here's 3rd and 10 for the Redskins. Again, 2nd time of the game. They converted last time. Pressure from the outside. McCoy steps up, finds Andre Roberts. Hard hit. Big hit by Alec Ogletree, the linebacker. Stopping Roberts in his tracks and short of a first down.
But I still like what Colt McCoy did there. Kept his eyes downfield. Because you know this rush for the Rams is going to get there. But keeping your eyes downfield and finding Andre Roberts. You didn't pick up the first down, but that's a positive play from the quarterback position. He didn't take a sack. He got positive yards. And you can see his offensive line, hey, we understand these guys are coming, but keep your eyes downfield, make a play. I'll take that.
First quarter comes to an end. Redskins and Rams scoreless. Back at FedEx Field, Sam Rosen, Kirk Morrison, Peter Schrager, glad you're with us. Tress Way punts it away for the Redskins into the wind that knocked it down, and it bounces out of bounds at the Rams' 44-yard line.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Canon, by Chevrolet, find new roads, and by Citizen Echo Drive, powered by light. Any light never needs a battery. Citizen.
Good look at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. We're not too far away from there. And Jared Cook is okay, back in the lineup for the St. Louis Rams. Went to the locker room after that hard hit from Ryan Clark. Rams start from the 42. Hill with time, puts it up long for Austin, incomplete. Tavon Austin, excuse me, that was Kenny Britt. And Britt had a couple of steps on the secondary.
Yes, he did. And you can see Sean Hill. He knew he missed one. That was a short touchdown. Kenny Britt right here on the outside. He beats in between that coverage. And he knows if that football's delivered right in between those two, if that football's delivered on time, he's catching and running for a touchdown. Kenny Britt, deceptive speed. He's a strider. Not a big, quick guy off the line of scrimmage. But as his stride starts going, he's a guy that can get right behind you.
Austin and Bailey, the wide receivers to the left. Austin in motion, takes the end around. He's got a blocker in front of him, gets up close to midfield. And stepped out of bounds. Ryan Clark chest him out. This week, Fox brings you the biggest fight card in broadcast television history. with Junior Dos Santos taking on Stipe Miocic, plus Rafael Dos Anjos battling Nate Diaz, and a whole lot more. Tonight, UFC event begins Friday with the Ultimate Fighter finale on Fox Sports 1 and continues Saturday with UFC Fight Night on Fox. That's one sport I want to stay away from. At midfield, on 3rd and 2, Benny Cunningham on the carry. First down, a lot more. Philip Thomas trying to take him down. Benny Cunningham with a good run down to the 30-yard line. He needed one or needed two, picked up 20.
Benny Cunningham is the power back. He gets in, but once he gets to the hole, watch this miss. Whoop, whoop. That's Ryan Clark kind of tackling the air right there, because Benny Cunningham, you think a guy that size, he's probably going to try to run you over, but he shows a little nimbleness, shows you some quickness on his feet, makes a guy miss and gets a big yardage for his offense.
3 tight ends in the game for the Rams. Harkey motions. Mason on the carry. And gets about 5 on the play, down to the 25-yard line.
I think when you look at the running back of the Rams, they all look similar. You know, you look at Zach Stacy, Benny Cunningham, and Trey Mason. They're not tall guys. You know, they're under 6 feet, but they run with power. And I think that's what this offensive line, they're able to maul guys. You know, they get up to that defensive line and they just try to get on you and make the running back choose a hole but hit it hard. And that's what they've been doing the last couple of weeks.
Mason in the backfield. Hill throwing short. Tavon Austin on the grab. First down, Rams at the 18-yard line. David Amerson, second-year cornerback, with a tackle, and holding his arm to his body is the nose tackle, Barry Cofield, coming off to the sideline. Shaken up on the play. There was a flag on the play that sets the Rams back. Ball set back to the 35-yard line. A holding call against the Rams. Wipes out a first down. Have to get to the 20-yard line for a first down. Penalties have been the biggest nemesis for the Rams. Hill off the fake. He's got a man wide open. It's Jared Cook. And he is in for the touchdown. 35-yard play to the man who was shaken up earlier, went to the locker room, came back, and grabs the Hill pass for the touchdown.
You see, he's right here on the line of scrimmage. Jared Cook just running the seam route. You look at 81 and 11, you think that Sean Hill would go there, but the tight end running right down the field, wide open. But that's what the play fake does to you. If you watch the play fake, it's fake to Trey Mason, and then everybody's looking at the running back, and nobody's looking at the tight end running right down the middle of the field.
Second touchdown of the season for Jared Cook. They're going to review it. To see if he was in.
I think he rolls over. He gets in. You know what?
The call on the field was touchdown. They will check it out. The Rams hoping that they have the lead. Jared Cook.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Brad Allen with the ruling. Jared Cook's second touchdown of the season. He is the leading receiver on the Rams, who really spread the ball around. Yes. They've got 8 guys with over 20 catches this season. And that was the big man making the grab and took advantage of the young safety, Philip Thomas.
Philip Thomas' first start of the year in for Brandon Merriweather. Leaves a guy running right down the middle of the field.
Greg Zuerlein, the extra point, and he misses. Slid off to the right. 6-0, Rams lead.
Today's game is sponsored by Pizza Hut. We're taking pizza where it's never been before.
Hard to believe Greg Zuerlein missing an extra point. He can't believe it.
That's rare in the NFL to miss a extra point. Remember in the preseason, the first 2 weeks of preseason, they moved that extra point attempt to the 15-yard line.
Right.
To make it more difficult. But that right there, you don't see that in the NFL too often.
There's Andre Roberts on the return for the Redskins, brought down as he crossed the 10-yard line. Nice play by Chase Reynolds on the coverage. 11-yard return. Colt McCoy, 6 for 9, 58 yards through the interception on the first possession. This is the Redskins' third possession of the game. Rams with a 6-0 lead. And Jay Gruden telling us he didn't want to fall behind against a Rams team that with that strong defense where they force you to put it up on every down.
That scary rush. Just looking at 91 and 94, that can keep any offense scared.
Off the fake, McCoy rolling and throwing, completes it to Pierre Garçon, his fourth catch of the game.
You get the fake right here. Colt McCoy extending the football, getting outside the pocket, but you like the ball placement. It's something that you talk about. This is repetitions. Colt McCoy, when he was not the starter of this football team, would go back and stand behind the starting quarterback and just take reps and just do reps. So this is something that he's familiar with as far as these play fakes and fooling the defense, but getting the football where it needs to be.
Darrell Young in at fullback, but Morris was slowed down and thrown for a loss. Chris Long with the initial penetration. T.J. McDonald finished it off. Good defensive play by the Rams.
We mentioned it earlier. Chris Long coming back to this defense last week. He had the ankle injury week 1. He had surgery. He comes back. You got your team leader. This was supposed to be the younger team in the NFL. This guy's in year 7 already. But he's the old man, and we had a chance to talk with him yesterday, and he's so happy to be back. He said he's too excited. So are you on a play count? He said, no play count for me. They're going to peel me off the field. He's so excited to get back out there with his teammates.
The old man at 29, right? Here's McCoy. Gets protection and completes it to Santana Moss. But he's short of the first down. Up at the 23-yard line is where they spot it. Gain of 6 on the play.
You look at the sacks. They've picked up on their sack numbers. I think when you look at Robert Quinn, first 5 games of the year, he had 0 sacks. This is a guy who had 19 and a half sacks the year before, but they've picked it up. And I think you can credit that to a young defense finally maturing as the season has gone on.
Now, the addition of Aaron Donald, the tackle has been a real plus for them. And here's the first sack of the game. Mark Barron, the safety, comes in and takes down Colt McCoy.
They talk about coverage sacks all the time, but this right here, they have a bracket over Andre Roberts. Then you look on the other side. They got the bracket on Pierre Garçon, Santana Moss. This is what a coverage sack means, that there's nowhere to throw the football. And this is why you draft Mark Barron. Reasons like that. 2 blitzes already, a play in the backfield and a sack.
Tressway's punt taken by Tavon Austin at the 32. Picks up a block. Turning the corner, down the sideline. Austin is shoved out of bounds by Darrell Young inside the Redskins' 30-yard line. Big return by Tavon Austin puts the Rams in great position. 7-yard punt return for Tavon Austin, his second longest of the season. His longest was 38, sets up the Rams. Rams' speed is showing up big in this game.
Definitely, especially on grass, not their usual artificial surface at home.
Stedman Bailey motions. Trey Mason gets a yard on the play. Jarvis Jenkins in on the stop for the Redskins. This was a 50-yard punt.
I always say the key to a good return is a good block. Darren Bates, number 53 right here, gets his head across. Boom! That's the block you need to spring a guy like Tavon. He doesn't need much, but just that block right there, key block to get the big yardage.
On 2nd and 9, the toss to Mason. He's got room. Across the 20, fights his way for a first down before he's pulled back by Ryan Clark and David Amerson. Mason, you talked about his power, but he gets outside in a hurry.
This is what Brian Schottenheimer, offensive coordinator of the Rams, this is what he wants to do. Get his guys in space. Tavon Austin, Stedman Bailey, Trey Mason. You get these guys in space, they believe they can make any of these Redskin defenders miss one-on-one. And this is what they want to continue to do throughout this game.
First down at the Redskins' 18-yard line. 2 tight ends in. Here's Mason again, cutting it back. Turns it into a good gain and a first down at the 6-yard line. 12-yard pickup for Trey Mason.
You remember we talked to Coach last week about this play. It's called a wrap. I asked Coach Brian Schottenheimer, what's the name of that play? What's the play that you call it? He said it's called a wrap, where you start one way and you come back the other way. You get the defense to commit, to go one side, you cave it down, and then the vision of the running back takes over. So-called a start left, but a little bit of a wrap coming back.
First and goal at the 6-yard line. Mason and Harkey in the backfield. It's Mason. Gets about a yard on the play. Brought down to the 5-yard line. Stephen Bowen and Chris Baker combine on the stop. Up front for the Redskins.
If you're the Redskins on defense, you need to stop here. You know, you need to stop because you don't want to give up 7. Your offense right now struggling a little bit. You had 1 interception already. The punt return, big punt return for St. Louis. So you need to stop down here. You got to find a way to keep them out the end zone.
3 wide receivers right for the Rams. Bailey, Austin, and Brett. Hill 1 step back and he's brought down. Ryan Kerrigan. Every sack he gets from here on in is a career high. That's 10.5 for him now. For the 4th year defensive, the outside linebacker.
Defense works together, meaning this guy here, Ryan Clark, he's going to run right here. He takes away that throw to Jared Cook. So when he takes away that throw, forces Sean Hill to double clutch Ryan Kerrigan. He benefits from that. He gets the big hit, the sack, the forced fumble, and gets to celebrate and show off the guns that he works on Friday in the afternoon in the workout.
Right. On 3rd and goal, Hill in trouble, and they've got him again. This time a combination with Jason Hatcher leading the way, along with Trent Murphy for the 2nd sack for the Redskins.
As I mentioned it earlier, this defense had to step up. You can't give up 7 here. You got to find a way to get a stop. Get some momentum going. That time, another coverage sack in the end zone. A lot of young corners, safeties playing right now for the Washington Redskins, coming up big down here in the red zone.
Greg Zuerlein, who missed the extra point earlier, now a field goal try from 28 yards. And this one missed. He's pushed 2 to the right. The extra point and what looked like a gimme field goal. So the Rams come up empty again. And lead stays at 6-0. First time Greg Zuerlein has ever missed a field goal try under 30 yards. He had been 16 for 16 in his 3-year NFL career. Redskins from the 20. McCoy keeping it and being buried. The ball came loose. And it's recovered by the Redskins. Dangerous moment for Colt McCoy.
Definitely dangerous. You look at Colt McCoy, you would think that this is not part of the offense, but with Colt McCoy, it's similar to what Robert Griffin III does at quarterback, the read option, but you got to protect the football. Football's on the ground. This is something that, you know, head coach Jay Gruden said, we need our quarterbacks and our team, we need to protect the football. It's precious. You put it on the ground. This is how you don't become the quarterback of the Redskins.
Gain of 4 on the play, 2nd and 6. McCoy off the fake, being pressured. Laurinaitis has him and takes him down. The middle linebacker, James Laurinaitis, year after year, one of the best in the NFL, and certainly happy that his Ohio State Buckeyes are in the college football playoff.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned Ohio State Buckeyes in that college football playoff, but you just watch Laurinaitis. It's a delayed blitz. It's a loop. Starts on one side, lets the offensive line pick up their defenders, and then he just loops all the way around. Nobody sees him, goes in for the sack.
Roy Halou Jr. in the backfield now for the Redskins. Have to get to the 30-yard line for a first down. Outside, Jordan Reed. Reed getting away. Reed fighting his way, but short of the first down as he gets up near the 29-yard line. Mark Barron and Tremaine Johnson combining on the stop for the Rams. And the Redskins will be forced to punt.
Another stop for the Rams defense. Colt McCoy looking frustrated coming off to the sideline, but this is what the Rams want. Another opportunity for Tavon Austin back there to touch the football. So this is an offensive play for the Rams.
Austin around his own 20-yard line as Tress Way. High kick. Austin started to wait for a fair catch, pulled his arm down, and gets to the sideline and is up near the 40-yard line. Out of bounds around the 39. Flag on the play.
I thought he waved his hand.
Yeah, he
for
started.
a fair catch.
It was about halfway up, and I think that's what they may be discussing here.
There are some shadows here at FedEx Field. I think he's trying to shield his eyes, but you put that hand over the head.
Look.
Yeah,
that looked like a wave to me.
That's a fair catch. That's a 5-yard penalty, delay of game.
Invalid fair kick signal by number 11 of the receiving team. That's a 5-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down. Timeout.
I like the way you called it, Kirk. Austin waves for the fair catch, then he took off. Rams start from the 26-yard line. Sean Hill 6 for 8, 78 yards, 1 touchdown. Some movement on the line.
Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's on Greg Robinson, the rookie out of Auburn. One thing about the Rams, who made the big trade a few years ago,
yes.
Jeff Fisher making that trade, giving up the pick that led to RG3 being drafted by the Redskins, number 2 overall. They've gotten a lot of talent built up. Back at the 21. Off the fake, Hill rolling and throwing deep down the sideline. He's got Kenny Britt at the 40-yard line of the Redskins. Down at the 38.
Sometimes you just stare into the backfield. Bashawn Breeland staring into the backfield, a corner, and that's how you allow Kenny Britt to get behind you. You know, as a corner, you're always taught to stay deeper than the deepest. And that time, Sean Hill getting out of the pocket, continuing to look downfield, finds Kenny Britt getting behind the defense.
First down at the Redskins 38, a 41-yard pass play. Trey Mason. Big wall up front. Stops Mason. We get an update from Joel Klatt in L.A. Joel.
All right, Sam, to Cleveland. You guys have the number 2 pick in the 2012 draft sitting on the sidelines there in Washington, while the number 1 pick struggling in Cleveland. A sack fumble picked up by the Browns for a touchdown. 7-0 Browns. Back to Washington. Sam, Kirk, Peter.
Andrew Luck, the number 1 pick, taking the big hit and the fumble. Thank you, Joel. And Cleveland with a lead as we are coming down to the 2-minute warning here in Landover, Maryland, with the Rams leading. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. The Redskins defense has been susceptible to the big play. They've given up a couple of big plays in this game. Benny Cunningham in at running back. Rams with a 2nd and 9. Hill being pressured, and they got him. Ryan Kerrigan does it again. His 2nd sack of the game. He came into the game tied for 10th in the league at 9.5, and he's got 2 today.
Ryan Kerrigan right here. He sees it. And Barksdale just doesn't get out. He just doesn't get out of his stance. This is what Ryan Kerrigan does. He's a high motor guy that uses his quickness off the line of scrimmage to get to the quarterback. We talked to him the other day, and when you talk to Ryan Kerrigan, he understands on this defense, he's asked to do a lot. Remember, he's asked to not only drop in coverage, which he's still getting used to and getting comfortable in doing, but he loves to put his hand in the dirt and get off and get the quarterback.
I love that he talked about watching the other good pass rushers around the league. Robert Quinn with the Rams, J.J. Watt, just the guys who are the tops in the league, trying to pick up some moves that they might have that he can use.
You mentioned that draft class, Von Miller as well.
That's right.
That pass rush class that Ryan Kerrigan was in. Unbelievable rushers in the NFL right now.
Ball back to the 43. You have to get to the 28 for a first down. Hill being pressured again. Able to roll out, extend the play, throwing incomplete. Almost intercepted. Well covered by Bashaud Breeland as he was on Kenny Brett.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, this Rams offense better get some help on Joe Barksdale's side, because right now, Ryan Kerrigan, he's almost understands the snap count, but watch the rip. You see, he slaps one hand down, rips all the way through, almost got the hat trick already as far as sacks, forcing Sean Hill out of the pocket in an errant throw.
Johnny Hecker kicking it high. Fair catch called for by Andre Roberts at the 16. Let's find out what's coming up on the Visa Halftime Report from Kurt Menefee.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, I'll be joined by all these guys as the Steelers and Bengals lock up in a key AFC North battle, and the Ravens look to take a wild card spot from the Dolphins. We get you caught up on all the action coming up on the Visa Half.
Hey, who's this good-looking guy?
Howie or Michael? Which one you talking about?
Is that the virtual crew in the studio?
It's comedy. Being in the studio with those guys, they make me laugh every time I see them.
You gotta love them.
A great bunch of guys, man.
Redskins start from the 16 with 2 timeouts remaining. McCoy throws batted away. Oh. Alec Ogletree, the second-year man out of Georgia, he has really stepped up as a defensive player on this squad.
One thing you're taught as a defensive player, you try to get as much penetration as you can. But if you can't get to the quarterback, get a hand up or jump. Find a way to create a different angle for the quarterback. And sometimes quarterbacks can't see. They just throw the football, and you're able to knock a ball down.
3 wide receivers right for the Redskins on 2nd and 10 from the 16. Blitz coming. They pick it up. McCoy hangs in, completes to Andre Roberts. And he's brought down at the 21-yard line. Ogletree and T.J. McDonald combine on the stop. A pickup of 5. No huddle here for the Redskins. McCoy sacked twice, hit 4 times. Rams showing blitz, and here they come, all out. Throws the screen. And it's turned into a big gainer for Roy Halou. First down inside the 40. And a flag on the play back at the 26-yard line.
I think it may be similar to what we saw earlier in the football game. Offensive pass interference. Offensive lineman downfield blocking before the ball is thrown.
And eligible receiver downfield, number 78, offense. 5-yard penalty. Down.
Corey Lichtensteiger, the center, the man guilty of the infraction.
You dial up the perfect play call. Jay Gruden had the perfect play call. On all-out blitz, you throw the screen. You let the defense penetrate, throw the screen right behind them. But the hardest part for the offensive lineman is what? Having patience. Letting the defense kind of get all the way to the quarterback and then releasing. It's tough, especially for that offensive line to have to wait a count or 2 when you want to get out and get those key blocks. So a big play wiped out by a penalty. Would have been a play of over 40 yards, and the ball, instead of inside the 40 of the Rams, is back at the Washington 16. Alfred Morris in the backfield.
Under a minute to go in the first half. McCoy, pressured by Robert Quinn, takes off and gets across the 20 to the 23. Another flag down, back at the 11-yard line.
All right, another holding call. They'll probably decline this one. But you're now in obvious passing situations. We talked with Chris Long about this. When they get in obvious passing situations.
Holding. Offense number 71. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
It's Trent Williams, the left tackle. Jeff Fisher was out on the field getting an explanation from the officials as to, okay, what happens here. So the Redskins forced to punt, and the Rams will get another chance.
You know, Trent Williams is in a battle. He's in a battle all game long with Robert Quinn. He knew he was going to have a little trouble today, but you can't have penalties, especially in this situation, giving the ball right back to Tavon Austin, his Rams offense.
Austin back close to his 30. Fresh way, good high punt. Austin backs up, takes it into 25. Fakes one way, heads for the sideline. Good return by Tavon Austin, taken out of bounds near midfield. Well, can you believe it's December, and that means the holidays are just around the corner. Fox helps you celebrate with a very merry Sunday Fun Day. 4 brand new Christmas episodes that will fill you with cheer. It all starts at 8, 7 Central tonight on Fox. Sunday's always Fun Day. We have football, and then we have
Family Guy,
nighttime festivities.
You know, I'm a Bart Simpson fan. Remember that.
Rams in Redskins territory at the 47 after a 28-yard return for Tavon Austin, who's having a big day. Sean Hill with time. That pass a little behind Jared Cook. Will Compton covering on the play. Will Compton getting the start in place of Keenan Robinson, who's out with an injury.
Will Compton, he's the guy wearing the green dot. You know, the green dot is, he gets a communication in his helmet right there. You see the green dot, something as a player, you know, I wore the green dot. And this is all about communication. Will Compton, now the starter today for Keenan Robinson, having to communicate to everybody the plays, down and distance, and what to do.
Hill throwing short to Benny Cunningham out of the backfield, but he's brought down by Will Compton.
Charge timeout. St. Louis.
The Rams call a timeout with the ball at the Washington 46-yard line.
Please set the game clock to 22 seconds.
Redskins with a total of 93 yards offense in the first half. The Rams 173 yards.
I think when you look at that stat line, to me, is the Redskins haven't really gotten to their offense. I mean, you get one good play, then you get a penalty. And that's just been their Achilles heel in this first half.
And though the Rams have moved the ball a little better, they too have been guilty of penalties that have stalled them, and then the missed field goal.
Special teams errors. You know, it's something that the Rams have to clean up. One of the better special teams in the league.
Hill on 3rd and 9. Throwing short. They've got a first down. Benny Cunningham turns it into a good gain and gets out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Rashad Breeland chased him out. Boy, they've got some versatility in their backfield with Cunningham coming in. Zach Stacy, you mentioned, and of course Trey Mason, who's taken over as the #1 running back.
Yeah, excellent vision. I know that play right there drove Jim Haslett crazy. When you have a check down play, those are supposed to be the plays that the defense can corral. You know, maybe a 5-yard, 6-yard gain, but when Cunningham's able to make one guy miss, that turns what should have been a 5-yard gain into a first down, keeping the chains moving and keeping this 2-minute drive going for the Rams.
Hill with time, completes it to Stedman Bailey down to the 20-yard line. And a timeout for the Rams. Will give them a chance to get the field goal kicking unit on. And there's some pressure on Greg Zuerlein here. He's missed an extra point and a field goal of under 30 yards. Coming up, it's the Visa halftime report. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. They've got the complete highlights, scores and highlights, special teams mistakes we talked about.
The missed extra point here. Then you get the missed field goal here. And you look around and say, that's supposed to be automatic. That's supposed to be automatic. The extra point, the kick after touchdown, that's supposed to be automatic. I'm surprised that Jeff Fisher called the timeout so late. I thought he would try to take one shot at the end zone going in, then kick the field goal. But they feel confident in Greg Zuerlein.
38-yard field goal try by Zuerlein. He missed right again. Zuerlein has missed 3 times. 1 extra point and 2 field goal tries that are well within his range. And that's a shock. So the Rams, who could have had this big lead at halftime, have only a 6-point lead.
It's all confidence now. When you miss the extra point, now you start thinking. And once you start thinking, I think it's anybody's decision right now for Jeff Fisher. Now, does he go with kicking field goals or possibly going for touchdowns?
At halftime, Rams defense has shut out Washington's offense. Time for the Visa halftime report. Here's Kurt Menefee. We are back at FedEx Field. Today's excitement is brought to you by Nissan. And a lot of excitement brought by Ryan Kerrigan with a couple of sacks. 3rd straight game, he's had at least 1 sack for the Washington Redskins. There's the 4th-year man who is he's the leading pass rusher, and he has been leading this defense. With Brian Arakpo down, he's a key man for Washington.
Yeah, definitely Ryan Kerrigan had to step up. He knew it. And he doesn't have his teammate on the other side of him. You mentioned Brian Arakpo, who was a guy who would dictate coverage and dictate blocking schemes, meaning that we had to find where number 98 was, Brian Arakpo. Now Kerrigan being the guy that offensive linemen have to locate. Where's 91? We got to put 91. And he's still being able to get sacks and be productive in this defense.
All right, Rams, missed opportunities for them. Washington still hasn't gotten much flow into their game yet.
Well, you look at Washington, and the one thing I see is on 3rd down. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL on 3rd down, and today, 1 for 5. This is something that the Redskins, they have to get fixed in order to win today's ball game. Colt McCoy struggled a little bit, interception early on, but I think once they get into a groove, and I think they got to get back to what I saw with Alfred Morris, the screen game, getting the ball to him on those dump-off screen plays. I think that's going to get this offense in flow.
We talked about the Rams defense right at the top. Shutout for another half. An excellent job. They had the shutout last week over the Raiders and a shutout through the first half of this game.
They're playing at a high level, and it'd be hard for me to find another defense in the NFL right now playing as well as his Rams defense. You look at in the secondary, they bring in Mark Barron, but Rodney McLeod, the guy had the interception early on. TJ McDonald, EJ Gaines on the outside. I start watching this defense, all season long. When you watch them on tape, you see them mature. Things that they did in the beginning of the season, they're not doing anymore. And you can tell by the team that they've played, as far as beating the Broncos, giving Phillip Rivers everything that he can handle. And last week, like you mentioned, the 52-0. You're not going to play a better game.
That's right.
52-0, but it's definitely the defense is leading this football team to where they are right now.
Kai Forbath will kick off. Rams deferred to start the game. Benny Cunningham is deep to receive the kickoff. And takes it at the 2. Slips one man. And fights his way for a couple of extra yards up to the 23. We go down to the sideline. Peter Schrager, what are the coaches thinking?
Yeah, Sam, Kirk mentioned that they're 1 for 5 on 3rd down. But Jay Gruden told me, how about 2nd down? How about we get these guys some manageable 3rd downs? Because everything's been 3rd and long. He says we need some positive plays on 1st and 2nd. As for the Rams, you're talking about Jeff Fisher here coming off the field after that field goal missed by Zuerlein. Says, of course it's hard, but we're still winning. We still feel good. So I'm going to be curious to watch Zuerlein's interaction with the fans here. It's very close from the stands to the bench. We see how they treat him on the 2nd half.
Thanks, Peter. Trey Mason on 1st down. Gets up to the 27, a pickup of 4 on the play. Perry Riley with the stop. Sean Hill 10 for 14, 146 yards, 1 touchdown in the first half.
I think when you look at the miscues on special teams, the missed field goals by Zuerlein, me and Peter Schrager were down on the field earlier, and to me, when the field is not comfortable for the kicker, I think that gets into the mind as far as your footing may not be there. It's a little slick down there. Not sure how the footing is now, but those are the kind of things that can get into the mind of the kicker.
Good fake by Sean Hill. Look at Trey Mason carry across the 30, up close to the 32-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and a yard for the Rams. 5 possessions in the first half, a touchdown, 2 missed field goals, and 1 punt.
It's the tale of 2 weeks. Last week versus Oakland, they couldn't do any wrong.
Right.
They scored on the first 6 possessions. This week, the missed punt, you had the missed field goals, a missed extra point. Just a different week in the NFL, but you have to find ways to power through.
Benny Cunningham, the running back, on 3rd and 1. Everybody out. Hill to Cunningham, first down. They needed 1, they got about 1.5 yards. Will Compton covering on the play. Rams did hit a couple of big plays. They hit the 35-yard touchdown pass to Jared Cook, the tight end. They hit a 41-yard pass to Kenny Britt, but didn't take advantage of that with a missed field goal. First down, Rams at the 34. Austin with a quick cut and get him the ball on that end around, and you almost know it's coming and yet you can't stop it. He's so quick.
Well, you have to understand that I have a Tavon Austin count. So when I find Tavon Austin, I know he's going to get the football at least 3 to 4 times per quarter. This is what this offense needs. It keeps the defense honest. Now, if I'm a linebacker or safety, I have to locate where number 11 is on the Rams offense, because obviously he's going to get the football at some point.
Motioning again, gets it again, gets a block from Kendricks. High stepping down the sideline is Tavon Austin. A little hot dog in him as he takes it out of bounds at the Redskins 44.
You got to locate 11. Find 11. Because this is what he can do to a defense. He puts pressure on you. So now, when they run this same play again, it's sort of a fly series. They call it a fly sweep series. You see it a lot in college, where you're able to just hand the football off and let him become a playmaker out in the open field.
Rams first down at the Redskins 44. That is Jared Cook motioning. Trey Mason finds the opening. Spinning away, gets inside the 30. And down to the 29-yard line, Chris Baker able to chase him down.
It's that same wrap play again. We talked about it earlier. Harkey, the fullback, coming back, and Trey Mason. And you see the cut, the cutting ability of Trey Mason, the vision. This is something early in the season. He wanted to be the home run hitter. He wanted to be the guy, but patience within the offense. And you're starting to see that he understands the running lanes, and he's able to get some big yardage.
13 carries, 59 yards. Here's another carry, this one for short yardage. Didn't get much. Chris Baker again clogging up the middle and making the stop. A gain of 2 on the play for Mason. Lives at 61 yards. Rushed for 117 yards. 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown last week. And the big win over the Raiders. The ball at the Redskins 27-yard line. 2nd and 8. 3 receivers left. Hill getting pressured, throws it wide of Trey Mason. Mason wasn't sure what Hill was doing, but pressure there from Trent Murphy. Murphy is, we talked to Jay Gruden. He said, I want to see more pass rush from Trent Murphy, and I think he's gotten that today.
Yeah, he's picking it up. He's finding a way to get to the quarterback, meaning sometimes he's going to be in a 2-point stance. Sometimes he's going to have his hand in the dirt, but sometimes he's got to drop in coverage. But I think Trent Murphy's starting to get it. You're starting to see the confident play that he knows where he fits in this defense, and that should be a bright spot for Jim Haslett.
3rd and 8 for the Rams out of the shotgun. Everybody out. Hill throws and completes to Kenny Britt. He's got a first down. And close to the 15-yard line. Out of bounds at the 16.
It's Kenny Britt right here on David Amerson. This is last week. David Amerson didn't have one of his better ball games. And Jim Haslett said he's got to play better. But when Kenny Britt's able to press up the field, stick on that right outside foot, come back to the sideline, and the ball's delivered right at the sideline where Britt can catch and get out of bounds. Sean Hill, impressive in those throws to the sideline.
His drive started at the 23, now down to the Redskins 16. Mason carrying, slips, and goes down short of the line of scrimmage. Jarvis Jenkins there to cover him up. Loss of a yard on the play. Washington defense, you talked about David Amerson.
Yes.
You've got Amerson, a second-year man, and Bashad Breeland, a rookie, at the corners where they were supposed to have D'Angelo Hall and Tracy Porter.
And then Merriweather, the safety, he's out. So Philip Thomas, the second-year guy, starting at safety along next to Ryan Clark. So a young secondary for this Redskins defense.
Hill under pressure. Kerrigan got a piece of him. He gets away, but he goes down across the 20-yard line. Stephen Bowen was the man that got a hand on him and took him down.
This is just, it's not a coverage sack. This is just a rush. Look at the penetration by Kerrigan, forcing Sean Hill to step up. But if Kerrigan doesn't get him, then Baker's over there. Then you see, this is a good job by a rush, that understanding, hey, if we have Sean Hill step up in the pocket, the guys up the middle, if you get enough push, we can get the sack. And that's what it was. This was a community sack, I call it, because all four guys working well together up front.
3rd and 14 for the Rams. Benny Cunningham in the backfield with Hill. And they stopped the play.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
This is something that Jim Haslett, defensive coordinator of the Redskins, talked about. Make them drive on us. Just don't give up the big play. It's hard to execute 8, 9, 10 plays on offense. But if we give them the big play, that gives them points, because they find a way to kind of shoot themselves in the foot, and you get that right here on the delay of game.
They have to get to the 6-yard line for a first down. Everybody out. Hill throwing short to Jared Cook. He's taken down at the original line of scrimmage, the 16. And here comes Greg Zuerlein and the field goal kicking unit one more time. He has missed from 28, he's missed from 38, and he's missed an extra point, which is very un-Zuerlein-like.
We saw Trey Mason slip on this drive in that same area here. Let's watch the footing as he attempts this kick.
Try from 34 is hooked inside the upright, and this one is good. So the Rams start the second half with a good drive. Got stopped by the Washington defense. Zuerlein comes through with his first field goal of the day. It's 9-0.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Ford. Beautiful things happen when you go further. By Burger King. Mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches for just $5 only at Burger King. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We're here in Washington for today's game. There's a special man missing in the press box today, and that is Brian Burwell, longtime writer and columnist, was in New York, born in Washington, worked in Washington, worked in New York, worked in St. Louis these last several years, and died earlier this week of cancer, and we miss him. He's a special guy. Terrific writer. Great to the athletes, great for the fans. On the return, Andre Roberts. And a good return up across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Brian Burwell, to his family, we send all our condolences. There is a seat empty in the press box today that belongs to Brian. See, the ball has belonged, for the most part, to the Rams, who have driven a lot up and down the field. Only put 9 points on the board. Redskins only 93 yards offense in the first half. Their first possession of the second half, Alfred Morris, who was held to just 1 yard rushing in the first half, on 6 carries by that Rams defense.
You would think Alfred Morris, he wants to get more involved into this game as far as running the football, but this defense of the Rams clogging everything up in the middle.
Looked like they wanted to go hurry up, and McCoy steps back now as they shift. Morris stays in the backfield. McCoy going short to Pierre Garçon, his 5th catch of the game. Short completion up to the 32. 3 safeties in the game for the Rams. Mark Barron, T.J. McDonald, Rodney McLeod.
And this is the reason why the Redskins go hurry up. They go hurry up so they do not allow the Rams to substitute. That time they huddle up, the Rams are able to substitute, get another safety into the game, get Mark Barron, who's more of a run stopper, get them more of a coverage safety, and McDonald and Tremaine Johnson, the cover corner, into the game.
There's a 3rd and 5. Rams showing blitz. The rush 5 and the pass broken up. Good play by James Laurinaitis on the pass intended for Jordan Reed. So 3 and out for the Redskins, and the fans getting on the Redskins offense.
This is why you do it. You show all-out blitz. But what happens? Only 4 guys rush. Everybody gets back into a zone, confusing Colt McCoy to think he's got to get rid of the football right now. And you have 2 guys converging on a pass, on a throw. That's a good job by a defense by the Rams. And Greg Williams, this is what they want to do, confuse this Redskins defense.
They fake the punt. Tress Way carries up to the 35-yard line, but he's short of the first down. Darren Bates made the tackle. So Tress Way pulling it down, running, trying to get the first down, comes up 3 yards short.
This is something that you would see from a Jeff Fisher special teams. This time 42, Trey Watts just staying home. Not being fooled by the fake. And you think going forward this deep into your own territory, this is what I call good special teams play by the St. Louis Rams. This is what they've been coached to do. Not fooled on that play.
First down Rams at the Redskins 35. Mason looking for an opening. Turns the corner, gets out of bounds around the 30. So the Redskins, there's a flag on the play. Down on the far side.
Probably a holding, it looks like.
Holding. Offense, number 46. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It's on Corey Harkey, who lines up as a fullback.
The fullback trying to get the edge here. He gets out. You get Trent Murphy here, but you watch how Trey Mason tries to set it up, and sometimes you need a guy to be decisive in that, so that when he makes the block, Harkey makes the block, you're able to just feed off of it and find a way to get to the outside. That time, Trey Mason a little too patient.
Hill straight back, under pressure. Being chased and throws it out of bounds. Everett Brown was the man chasing Sean Hill. Rams guilty of 7 penalties. That's been a big negative in this game for the Rams. It has stopped a couple of drives, set them back a couple of times, and this one, which started at the 35, is now a 2nd and 20 at the 45. 3 wide receivers right. Hill gets time, goes short to Benny Cunningham. And he's brought down at the 37-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play.
I'm impressed with Benny Cunningham. I mean, just coming out of the backfield, those are 5-yard receptions. But he's turning those 5-yard plays, making the first guy miss, and now they become 8-yard plays, 9-yard plays. I'll tell you, 3rd down and 12 is a little easier than 3rd down and 17, 16. It's still difficult down in distance, but if you're able to help out your team that much more with a couple yards, that's a good job. Impressed by Benny Cunningham.
Three receivers right. Cunningham out of the backfield. Hill throws and completes it to Stedman Bailey, who spins down to the 1-yard line. Just short of the goal line. Stedman Bailey, who had the big game last week, the ball came loose. But I believe he was down. 36-yard pickup.
Yeah, I thought he was down. I looked at the... Yeah, I felt the ball hit the ground and then was fumbled. Stedman Bailey just hooking up over the middle, determined to get to the end zone. I think Jay Gruden may take a look at it, but I feel that the ground caused the fumble.
Tim Barnes, a backup center, is eligible. He lines up as a tight end left on 1st and goal. And now, I believe, let's see, is Washington challenging the play, the ruling on the field? Yep, there's the challenge flag.
Washington is challenging the ruling on the field of down by contact. Timeout.
All right. Jay Gruden takes a look, decides to challenge the big play.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K.
Brad Allen is out with a decision, ready for it.
Knowing the play, the runner's right forearm worth down. The ruling on the field is confirmed. Washington is charged a timeout and the first challenge.
Unfortunately, Jay Gruden is 1 for 8 on challenges this season.
I was going to say that, Sam. I don't know if you want to throw that challenge flag there. If you look at the percentage of Jay Gruden as far as challenges, I thought the forearm came down first, then the ball was fumbled after it hit the ground.
Number 61 reports as an eligible receiver. 61 is eligible.
That's Tim Barnes, the backup center that you heard is eligible for the Rams as a tight end left side. It's 1st and goal for the Rams at the 1-yard line. Hill, big rush, puts it up, wide open. Jared Cook for his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Rams widen the lead.
Jared Cook right here in line. And just nobody covers him. Nobody. That's Jared Cook. When you get down by the goal line in the red zone, he's a guy that I want to keep my eye on. But this time, this is what the running game does to you. Because everybody had their antennas up looking at Trey Mason. And Jared Cook's able to sneak down behind the edge of that goal line for a touchdown.
Greg Zuerlein, who has missed 3, 2 field goals, 1 extra point. Fake, 2-point conversion. Johnny Hecker, the punter, the $18 million punter, throws another completed pass. He's completed 3 passes this season. He throws the 2-point conversion to Corey Harkey. And the Rams get the 2 points back, lead 17-0. Johnny Hecker was a high school quarterback, and Jeff Fisher, using all his talents, gets a 2-point conversion. They get back the point they missed earlier in the game and have a 17-0 lead.
That's the reason his teammates call him Cha-Ching. I said it earlier. Cha-Ching, he's just not a punter. He's a guy that can throw the football and showing off his skills down there after the touchdown.
Zuerlein kicks it off. Andre Roberts brings it out from 5 yards deep. Slips one man and is brought down short of the 20-yard line.
The first thing is Sean Hill just buying time. He knows he's probably going to get hit, but holds off just enough to let Jared Cook work the end line for a touchdown. But this right here is something that down at the goal line here on a point after attempt, you always have to make sure that you hold that guy, the end guy. And this time, Corey Harkey's able to get the 2-point conversion and show off his, was that a wind-up? Showing, look, that's a little, about a 90-mile-an-hour fastball down to the ground.
First 2-point conversion for the Rams this season. Redskins start from the 18. They've got a long way to come back. Down by 17. Colt McCoy sends everyone out, completes this one to Jordan Reed. Up to the 24, we go down to the sideline. Peter Schrager standing by. Peter.
Hey, Sam. Redskins fans might be wondering, hey, how about we see Robert Griffin III? Well, he was actually up and tossing with McCoy in between those last two drives. He'd been sitting on the bench in that big overcoat all game. And we got a small group of fans behind me chanting RG3, RG3.
No points on the scoreboard right now. You're going to get some fans who want to see the magic. They still believe that RG can come back and bring this team back.
Alfred Morris, who has been held in check in this game by the Rams defense. William Hayes makes the stop.
And you mentioned this defense of the Rams has made this Redskins offense one-dimensional. They've taken Alfred Morris out of this football game. And so now you're able to drop 6-7 guys in coverage because your front four is able to work. Quinn, Long, you see Hayes there, Brockers, Donald. This is what happens when you take away the run. You let the guys up front feast.
On 3rd and 1, the rush from the outside, they've got McCoy. That time, Alfred Morris missed the block on Eugene Sims, and he got to McCoy for the sack. And once again, the Redskins offense, 3 and out.
I talk about when it's just an obvious passing situation. You see Eugene Sims on the outside, and Alfred Morris just misses a block. And when you miss the block, your quarterback goes down. And that's nothing to do with the coverage. That's just the guys up front whipping the offensive line up front. That's all it is. Those guys right now, knowing it's going to be a pass, already have the moves in their head. It's tough to defend.
Tavon Austin backed up to the 20, trying to pick up some blocks. Gets outside, and another big return for Tavon Austin. He may go all the way. Touchdown! 78 yards, Tavon Austin. What a game he's had returning.
You put the ball in his hands, and this is what happens. He finds a way. He's patient. When you have this kind of speed, which I wish I had when I played the NFL, I didn't have this kind of speed where you're able to slow down and then watch him turn it on right here. And nobody's going to catch him. Nobody. Well, that's what I call a game breaker.
Now the Rams putting all facets of their game together. They've got the speed, and you can see the Redskins fans. And the big plays continue to haunt and kill the Redskins. Another big play.
Here at FedEx Field, I think you can hear the chants for RG3. RG3. RG3.
Zerline makes the extra point, and the Rams have a 24-0 lead. Jeff Fisher jumping up and down.
Happy Rams.
NFL athletes grew up playing in communities all across America. Now, through NFL Play 60, they're encouraging kids in neighborhoods everywhere to come out to play for 60 minutes a day. To learn how NFL stars played as kids and to find great play ideas, visit NFLrush.com/play60. And that's a touchback, and the Redskins will start from the 20-yard line and try to find something on the sideline. That's RG3.
Yeah, RG3 talking to Deshaun Jackson. Remember, Deshaun Jackson was the guy a couple weeks back standing up for his quarterback, standing up for Robert Griffin, saying this is something in our locker room that's not an issue. But, you know, today you have two guys talking on the sideline because Robert knows he can still play. But right now the opportunity is for Colt McCoy. But with this offense not having any points today, it's kind of hard to say why not go back to RG3.
In talking with Jay Gruden, the talks that we had, he seems like he's totally committed to Colt McCoy going the rest of the season. That pass dropped by Jordan Reed, almost a lateral pass. It's incomplete.
And now Colt McCoy's pressing.
Yeah.
That throw right there, that's a guy feeling the pressure a little bit, trying to make a play because the footwork's not there. You know, that's an easy throw. That's a throw, a little flare to the outside that you practice every day. That should be routine. But this is now a quarterback who's pressing, trying to make plays, trying to make something happen. But this defense has been suffocating on the Rams.
Roy Halou Jr. in the backfield with Colt McCoy. He'll pick up the blitz. The pass outside complete to Santana Moss. Turns into a good gain up to the 39-yard line. Rodney McLeod on the stop.
Colt McCoy this time, he gets the Roy Halou with the pickup, delivery. Santana Moss, kind of the forgotten guy. The wide receiver making a play, getting a first down, extending the drive now.
First down of for the Redskins in the second half. McCoy's pass might have been tipped at the line. And a flag comes in. I thought the ball might have been tipped. Santana Moss was looking for an interference call or maybe a holding call. We'll see.
I thought the ball was tipped. I saw the near side referee running over. They're going to discuss it. But I thought the ball was tipped.
The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, therefore there is no foul in the play.
I think Robert Quinn was the guy that got a paw up. Robert Quinn right here in the middle of the defense. I'm talking about it earlier. If you can't get there, get a hand up. And that time, that hand, just a little bit of a deflection, negated that penalty.
2nd and 10 for the Redskins. And the handoff to Roy Halou. Flag on the play as Halou gets up to the 40-yard line. James Laurinaitis with the tackle.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. Second out.
Second holding call on Trent Williams.
Now you look at, they get the first down a couple plays ago. Then you get a penalty, and now you're back deep into your own territory. This is what Jay Gruden was telling us the other day. We cannot shoot ourselves in the foot. We have to continue to focus on making plays and not making the dumb play. That right there is a dumb penalty because it pushes you back. Now you're behind the chains, 2nd and 20 in an obvious passing situation, and the Rams know that.
Well, you touched on it earlier, Kurt. You saw the numbers there. The Redskins one-dimensional. They have not been able to run the ball. Now way behind. They're throwing on every play. That completion to Pierre Garçon is 6th catch of the game. Is out of bounds up close to the 45-yard line as we're heading down to the end of the third quarter. And for the St. Louis Rams, it'll be 7 consecutive shutout quarters for their defense.
That's something that Greg Williams told us. He's excited. His team, his defense, throwing up right in front of our eyes.
Rams leading into the third quarter, 24-0. Some golf on Fox. Our own Joe Buck will be in Florida Saturday with Greg Norman to bring you the final round of the Franklin Templeton Shootout. Some of the best golfers in the world compete with over $3 million on the line. It starts Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. On third down, McCoy in trouble. They've got him. 4th sack of the game for the Rams. James Laurinaitis and Robert Quinn combined for the sack.
I don't know who you give it to. Do you give it to Quinn or do you give it to Laurinaitis? They've been showing this pressure where Laurinaitis stands in at the line of scrimmage and waits for the rush to develop and then finds a crease, finds a seam. Colt McCoy runs right into that sack. He has no chance. No chance, and I said it before, obvious passing situations, it favors the Rams and not that Redskins offense.
You got to split the sack, get half each. Press way with a high, short punt. The ball bounces inside the 30. There's a flag on the play. Good roll for the Redskins down to the 21-yard line. Washington Redskins have only 7 first downs in the game and are 1 for 8 on third down conversion tries.
And you look at the penalties. It was just not a good performance by this offense of the Redskins.
It's like a holding call against the Rams.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 22. This foul will be enforced from the end of the kick. First down.
Trumaine Johnson called for the hold. Rams have 8 penalties in the game. These two teams combined for that big trade that we talked about in 2012, where the number 2 pick in the draft, the Rams had it, they traded it. These players eventually became Rams out of that trade as the Rams made deals with the Dallas Cowboys. They made deals with a couple of other teams and accumulated 8 players from that trade of the number 2 pick.
I look at the starters. I mean, blockers. You got Jenkins. You see Greg Robinson, 2nd overall pick this year. These are starters in the NFL. They were able to pick up.
Tavon Austin again. And he's brought down at the 30-yard line. What a day Tavon Austin is having.
When you have this kind of speed, you have to give him the football. This time he has a blocker in front of him. Lance Kendricks being able to escort Tavon Austin down the field, but I'm going to keep saying it. You got to give him the ball 3 times, 4. It doesn't matter. Give him as many touches as you can because it puts pressure on the defense now to locate where Tavon Austin is.
He's got 4 carries from scrimmage for 48 yards and 3 punt returns for 143 yards and 1 touchdown. Let's get an update. Time to go to the studio to Kurt Menefee.
Well, what a day for A.J. Green. Andy Dalton finds a wide-open Green on an 81-yard score. A.J. Green, 10 catches, 203 yards, a career high already, and they're just starting the 4th quarter with his team up 4 over Pittsburgh. Sam?
Great game, great day for A.J. Green. Thanks, Kurt. How about that battle in the AFC North?
Yeah, think about it. Jay Gruden, Andy Dalton, one of his proteges. Right. Andy Dalton showing what he can do for the Bengals.
Trey Mason, he is hit and thrown back by Will Compton. The St. Louis product, just outside of St. Louis. First-year man out of Nebraska. How about Sean Hill? He's really steadied everything down. Hurry up offense here, but he's steadied down the Rams offense. That veteran leadership at quarterback. Here's Hill under pressure. Got away from one man and gets pulled down on the play by Frank Kearse.
Like a penalty in the defensive secondary. I thought the rush got to him a little early on, but maybe a hold.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask, defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic, first down.
Penalties. Grabbing the face mask right there. You can't do that. Frank Kearse. Unbelievable rush. But it's when something good happens for you, then a bad play like that happens.
That's been the type of game it's been for the Redskins. Nothing has gone right. And the Rams now with a first down at midfield. Sean Hill, 16 of 22, 213 yards, 2 touchdown passes, both to Jared Cook. Austin, this time the Redskins were ready for it. It's a loss of 3 on the play. Ryan Kerrigan making the stop.
Freeze it real quick. See this? This is offensive linemen. 3 offensive linemen on the left, 1 offensive lineman on the right, and a tight end. So what does that mean? They're shortening the corner for Tavon Austin. Now keeping all the defenders on the side where the offensive linemen are, giving Tavon Austin more space toward the sideline that he can work with. But that time, the Redskins defense were able to flow over the top and bottle him up in the backfield.
And it's a Trey Mason. And Mason stopped for no gain. Trey Mason, 18 carries, 65 yards. The Rams have run enough to mix it up and get some balance in their offense. But the big plays, they've had a 35-yard pass play to Jared Cook for a touchdown, a 36-yard pass and run by Stedman Bailey that set up a touchdown, and a 41-yard pass completion to Kenny Britt. Benny Cunningham, the running back, going straight ahead up to midfield. And the Rams will bring on the punting unit. There's a flag downfield.
Possibly 12 men on the field. When you get a throw from the back judge, that's usually counting everybody and saying maybe 12 guys on the field.
Back judge talking with referee Brad Allen.
Are they pointing to the Rams?
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 81. This is a dead ball foul, 4th down.
That's Kenny Britt.
Something happened over in that backfield. When that back judge throws, he's either something happening extracurricular in the back end or too many men on the field. That time, Kenny Britt. And we saw it earlier in the game. I saw Kenny Britt mixing it up with Bashawn Breeland on that sideline over there. One of the battles I wanted to see today. Kenny Britt kind of getting the better end of that battle today.
I'm sure Jeff Fisher will talk to his team about the number of penalties they've taken. Andre Roberts backed up on the Johnny Hecker punt to the 5-yard line, and he's brought down. Outstanding coverage, Stedman. Bailey was there. There's a flag on the play. Great coverage by the Rams.
Kicking team. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 34, the kicking team. That 15-yard penalty is enforced from the dead ball spot. 1st down.
That's Chase Reynolds called for the unnecessary roughness penalty. Redskins have the ball at a big deficit.
This game is sponsored by T-Mobile, changing the game of wireless.
Back here at FedEx Field, RG3, Robert Griffin III on the sideline, the parka on. Colt McCoy, the man that Jay Gruden is committed to, has gone all the way. Redskins start from the 19. They've had only 130 yards total offense in the game. That pass is dropped by Santana Moss. He had a step on the safety, T.J. McDonald. Some of the numbers. 330 yards for the Rams, 130 for the Redskins, 7 first downs for Washington, 19 for St. Louis.
This offense, if you can't run the football, Redskins, then you're doomed. And that's what the passing game is played off of. It's play action. If you're not running the football, you're able to drop more guys in coverage. That's what the Rams have been doing all game long.
And the Redskins have only 19 yards rushing in the game. McCoy takes off, throws, and it's complete. But a quick hit on Pierre Garçon by Tremaine Johnson. Knocked him out of bounds at across the 20 at the 23-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play.
Now they're into the hurry up, trying to find some consistency. What works? First you slowed it down, now you're trying to speed it up. The communication by the Rams has been on point all game long.
Robert Quinn jumped across the line.
Neutral zone infraction, number 94, defense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
A little anxious there.
Yeah. You talk about stopping the running game of the Redskins. Alfred Morris, who many people feel is one of the top backs in the NFL, 8 carries for 6 yards.
A lot of respect talking to these Ram players. A lot of respect for Alfred Morris, what he can do with the football. But I think this Rams team took it as a challenge to not allow him to have one of his better games. If you take him out of the game, you see the way this Redskins offense is not able to perform.
McCoy rolls and completes to Ryan Grant, the rookie out of Tulane, for a 1st down. Had a look a moment ago at Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator for the Rams, and as you said, his defense is coming together since the midway point of this season. They have really played some good football. The secondary has been strong. The rush has gotten better. They've gotten healthier. They've got depth. McCoy. The pass broken up as Alfred Morris takes a hard hit, reaching for the football. Tremaine Johnson with a hit. Broke up the play. That's a hard hit.
Those are the plays you don't want. And Alfred Morris just sitting out there. He's a lame duck when you look at what the Rams are doing. They're dropping 7 guys, and this is what you're taught in this situation. Stay on top, meaning stay on top of the receivers. Let them make the throw, and let's converge and tackle. So right now, you look at the defense of the Rams. Guys are playing 7, 8, 9 yards off.
Rush on, and the pass incomplete. Intended for Silas Red, the rookie out of USC, out of the backfield. Good pressure from Alec Ogletree, blitzing from his linebacker spot. All right, you're the Washington Redskins. You wanted to see progress.
Yes.
You wanted to see something positive with Colt McCoy as your quarterback leader out there. And on home field, it hasn't happened.
You're not seeing anything. Jay Gruden said he wanted to see consistency. He wanted to see the huddle procedure. He wanted to see great footwork. But what the Rams have done on defense has disrupted everything that the Redskins wanted to do today.
McCoy under pressure, completes to Silas Red, and he's got a first down. An undrafted rookie out of USC, Silas Red Jr., the 3rd running back, pick up a 14 on the play and a first down for the Redskins at the 46-yard line. McCoy. Again, Silas Red out of the backfield. And that's a play that's working.
And the Rams are giving that up. I mean, they're lining up 7, 8 yards deep across the board. I mean, linebackers, cornerbacks, they're allowing that underneath throw and not getting beat deep.
No huddle offense for the Redskins. A gain of 16 on the last play.
Look for Greg Williams, sense of pressure now.
McCoy gets rid of it, completes to Pierre Garçon. Garçon down to the 20-yard line. 7 catches in the game for Pierre Garçon. Picks up 18. He's got make that 8 catches now for 88 yards. First down, Redskins at the 20. Alfred Morris back in and running back. As the Redskins, low snap, and McCoy is hit by Robert Quinn.
Trent Williams didn't have a chance. Coming out of his stance here. Watch Robert Quinn. Trent Williams doesn't have a chance. Doesn't. I mean, he doesn't even get out of his stance. It's Robert Quinn, that first step. And it's boom. Those are the plays that kind of get your quarterback hurt. You see Colt McCoy on the ground there.
Didn't seem as if he was ready for the snap, so maybe the center, Corey Lichtensteiger, snapped it too soon.
And those are the plays that you look back and say, how did I get my quarterback hurt? You got to be on the same page.
Deep drop, McCoy throwing for the end zone, but way off target. Ryan Grant was downfield, but the pass nowhere near him. Eugene Sims with pressure on Colt McCoy.
I thought it was interesting talking with Jay Gruden that he talks to Bengals coach Marvin Lewis a lot. You know, his former head coach, and he was the offensive coordinator for the Bengals. And he said when he talks to Marvin Lewis, you know, every couple weeks or during the week, Marvin just tells him to be consistent in his approach. You know, keep plowing, keep trucking. But sometimes it's just difficult because you look at this offense, and they've been stagnant at times today. Right. Penalties and the bad plays, sacks.
McCoy's pass is complete to Pierre Garçon. And he's got forward progress to the 21-yard line.
That was 3rd and long. Now it's 4th down, and you got to go for it here.
4th and 11. And the Redskins trying to show some life here. 3 receivers left, including Jordan Reed. Garçon to the right. Garçon with 9 catches for 95 yards. McCoy slips one man and throws. It's intercepted by T.J. McDonald. 2nd interception of the game. McDonald pulled out of bounds. Redskins back at the 21-yard line.
Was that a flag or red? Something
I
came
thought
out of
a
the
red,
field.
yeah,
I saw
something
red
red
flag.
came flying out there. But perhaps it was just indicative that the man went out of bounds. They bring the ball back to the 22-yard line, but the Rams have it with their second interception of the game. Their defense keeps doing it.
A face of frustration.
Yes,
That's not on. It's not all on the quarterback. No, it's an offense, and they just have not played well today. But you're the quarterback, so you're gonna have to take the blame.
Well, he knows, and we had a good chance to speak with him at length, that this is a showcase for him.
Yes.
He's got a one-year deal here with the Redskins, and then he becomes a free agent. If he shows well, maybe he's here with the Redskins as the quarterback of the future, or maybe there's some other teams out there that'll be interested.
You know, one thing he just said, look, my football knowledge has increased since I've been here. I cherish these opportunities. But he understands if he doesn't play well, everybody's going to call for Robert. And he understands that as the quarterback. But when you don't play well as a team, this is what the quarterback gets. He gets the blame when you lose, and you get the credit when you win.
Trey Mason brought down short of the line of scrimmage. When you look at the playoff picture, well, the chances aren't great, but the Rams are still alive. They are 5-7 coming into play today, and they will be 6-7 after today's game.
Making some noise. I mean, and they go home next week to play Arizona.
Arizona, huge game. Looking for 2 wins in a row. Now you look at Robert Griffin III and you say, as far as the Redskins are concerned, and Jay Gruden said this, when the season's over, the organization has a big decision to make. The entire organization has to figure out what the future will be for Robert Griffin III with the Redskins. Good play defensively by Chris Baker, taking down Benny Cunningham, and the Rams will be forced to punt. Rams looking for 2 wins in a row for the first time this season. They've gone the last 8 weeks alternating losses and wins. Trying to put 2 wins together in a row for the first time. Trying to stay alive mathematically in the playoff picture, as tough as it'll be. But still to build toward the future, because they don't have that number 1 quarterback right now, and Sam Bradford's future is kind of a big question mark with 2 years in a row out with knee injuries, knee surgery.
You mentioned 2 wins in a row.
St. Louis.
You're looking at, what, 3 minutes, 8 seconds. Possible 2 shutouts in a row.
That's pretty good. And you would know that as
Yes,
a
indeed.
defensive player.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Game of War. Play free now.
Here outside of Washington on a beautiful day for RG3. It's been watch and learn for Jay Gruden. The frustration continues. And Johnny Hecker out for his 4th punt of the game. He also completed a pass for a 2-point conversion. Andre Roberts trying to find some room, but he's out of bounds around the 30-yard line. Winding down as the Rams have the big lead. Week 14 continues later today on CBS, and for some of you on Fox with America's Game of the Week. Then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tune in tomorrow to Monday Night Football on ESPN. Falcons and Packers at Lambeau. Don't forget, coming up on Fox, Seattle and Philadelphia.
That's a matchup.
That is special. McCoy sacked for the 6th time of the game. This time it's William Hayes, who actually leads the team in quarterback pressures. This time he got to the quarterback.
He's getting to the quarterback because it's just relentless. Relentless. It's relentless pressure. And I've said before, you can't be denied. When you don't want to be denied, when you're trying to find a way, you're scrapping, you get down. This is money time. You know, you get down into under 3 minutes in a game, and you know a team's obviously passing. This is where the guys start to get those blitzes together, start to get their best pass rush moves, and this is where you pick up those easy sacks.
Hayes was the guy who stepped up when Chris Long went out. Nice run, but Silas Red fumbles. It's picked up by the Redskins. Santana Moss with an alert play to pick up the fumble, and the Redskins maintain possession and have the ball up near midfield. We've reached a 2-minute warning. The Rams trying to hold on for their second straight shutout. How about that? Colt McCoy on the sideline. Looks like he's talking to the medical staff for the Redskins. He was shaken up, and RG3, Robert Griffin III, is into the game for the final 2 minutes here with the ball at the Washington 47. Puts it up short to Santana Moss into Rams territory. He's got a first down at the 40-yard line.
Something happened here with Colt McCoy. Drops back to pass. William Hayes brings him down. It looks probably right there on his head, shoulder area. Possible concussion. But it's right there. See how he's pointing it back? Maybe a stinger, something that maybe ran down the back.
So RG3 back in. Under pressure, they've got him. 7th sack of the game for the Rams as the defense continues to dominate. And the rookie Aaron Donald, who leads all rookies in sacks in the NFL, the rookie out of Pittsburgh, he has really added something to this Rams defense.
Greg Williams couldn't stop talking about it. So we have to say, Greg, okay, we got it. Aaron Donald is a guy who you want to build around on that defensive line. He said he's a gym rat. He's a guy who's been in the film room all day long, goes out to practice early. That's the reason why. And it shows off when it comes to game time.
The drop, the blitz on, the pass outside, caught by Jordan Reed. Out of bounds at the 39. We go to Peter Schrager down at the sideline. Peter.
Hey, Sam, Colt wasn't replaced for performance. He has a neck strain. He was injured on that play. Griffin goes in for the final drive of the game.
Thanks, Peter. One thing we were watching, Peter and Kirk and myself at practice with the Redskins, and how RG3 was mimicking every move of the starting quarterback in every play, the footwork, the fakes. So he's out there trying to learn and improve his craft. Silas Red brought down short of the 30-yard line. Close to the 32, under a minute to go. And it's a 4th down for the Redskins. Need to get to the 30-yard line for a first down. 3 wide receivers right. Pick up the blitz. The pass is overthrown, intended for Jordan Reed. And the ball will go over on downs to the Rams, and the St. Louis Rams are going to have their second consecutive shutout. And you see the numbers the defense has put up. Greg Williams is the defensive coordinator. He is letting his players know how he feels. 2 interceptions, 7 sacks.
Yeah, Greg Williams, just in talking with him, he said, we're not that far away. We're not that far away of becoming a suffocating defense. And today was a suffocating performance. They didn't give Colt McCoy any room to breathe. They made Alfred Morris, looked like an average running back today. But this is what this Rams young defense has been showing the last couple of weeks. They take down Manning. They have a good performance against Phillip Rivers. And last week a shutout. And then this week a shutout.
First time since 1945 the Rams have put together back-to-back shutouts. An awesome performance on the road. The Rams go to 6-7. The Redskins are 3-10. The Rams will be home against Arizona next week, and the Redskins will be at New York. We're going to the studio. There's more bonus coverage coming your way. Here's Kurt Menefee.